My thoughts are dangerous. My negative thoughts are a sign of mental illness. If I think certain thoughts, I'm going to act on them. Certain thoughts are going to make bad events happen. My thoughts will make me lose control over myself or even go crazy. This is how most of us have learned about the nature of thoughts. That they are dangerous and that they can influence behavior, they can influence events, and they are facts just because they come up. The question is if this is true and whether there's an alternative way to view thoughts. So if you choose to view thoughts as dangerous and harmful, you probably take them very seriously if they came up. Let's say you had thoughts like, I'm a failure, they don't like me, what if I panic, what if something bad happens to my family? If you had those thoughts and you took them very seriously, you would probably be very consumed by them. You would work on them, you would think about them, you would try to work them out. Here are some common ways that people take their thoughts seriously. Usually, people would analyze their thoughts. They would try to work out why these thoughts came up, understand the meaning of them, and try to find solutions so that they can go away. Others might start worrying about these thoughts and think about all the terrible consequences that could happen if these thoughts came true. Now, some might be so overwhelmed by their thoughts that they would try to push them away by thinking about something else, try to force them away, or distract themselves with activities so that they can shut them off. While others would try to talk back to their thoughts and try to change them into more positive or realistic ones. But as you've probably found out, these strategies don't really work. Or they only work the short term, but not really in the long term. So if you use these strategies to try to get rid of your thoughts or work them out, you are going to feel sad and anxious and demotivated and tired and angry and frustrated at the end, which also makes sense. Spending 5 hours worrying about what if I panic at the party is going to make you feel anxious throughout the day. You're not going to enjoy the activities that you did that afternoon, if you did any, and you're definitely going not to enjoy yourself at the party because you're so afraid that you will panic. An alternative way of viewing thoughts is that thoughts are brief inner events in the mind that come and go on their own. That thoughts don't predict behavior, that thoughts don't make bad events happen, and that thoughts are not facts just because they come up. You've had thousands of thoughts going through your mind yesterday. This is what happens on a daily basis. We have thousands of thoughts coming up. How many of those thoughts do you actually remember? You probably only remember a handful and the rest you've forgotten about. What happened to those other thoughts? Is the world run by thoughts? Have you always acted on all the thoughts that came up in your mind? Why not? Have you chosen to leave some thoughts alone? Did anything bad happen because you didn't deal with those thoughts? So if you instead choose to believe that thoughts are benign, they're not dangerous, and that they just come and go, they're brief. How would you react to the thoughts that came up in your mind? For example, what if I'm seriously ill? What if I'm getting depressed again? What if they don't like me? What if something bad happens? How would you treat those thoughts? Probably by doing nothing about them. You would ignore them and move on with your life.